Have you ever felt like you're not improving as fast as you used to? Maybe you started learning English with a lot of excitement, making progress quickly, but now it feels like you're stuck in the same place. Trust me, you're not alone. Many learners reach this stage and feel frustrated. But don't worry, today we'll explore why this happens and, most importantly, how you can overcome it. Welcome back to English in Brazil, the place where you improve your English in a simple and enjoyable way. I'm CARINA FRAGOZO, your English teacher, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about something that many English learners experience: the intermediate plateau. Before we dive in, remember that you can download the script of this episode so you can follow along with both text and audio by clicking in the link in the description. O conteúdo que você vai acompanhar agora é parte de uma série com 7 episódios que você pode encontrar clicando aqui no card. O nível de inglês é o B1, intermediário, mas eu vou falar de forma mais tranquila para que mesmo quem esteja no básico consiga acompanhar e se desafiar. E não esquece de baixar o PDF aqui na descrição com todos os episódios em português e inglês com exercícios, viu? Now, let's get started. First, let's talk about what the intermediate plateau is. It's a common stage in language learning where students, after learning quickly as beginners, start to feel that their progress has slowed down. In the beginning, learning English feels exciting because everything is new. You quickly learn simple words, phrases, and grammar rules. But once you reach the intermediate level, things get harder. You might still make mistakes, feel nervous when speaking, or understand a lot but struggle to say what you really mean. Jack Richards, in his study Moving Beyond the Plateau from Intermediate to Advanced Levels in Language Learning, describes this stage as a period where learners develop a degree of fluency but struggle to advance further. He points out 5 common problems that intermediate learners face. Let's go through each of them right now. Number 1, you understand more than you can say. Have you ever felt like you understand English when listening or reading, but when it's time to speak, you can't find the right words? That's because your receptive skills, like listening and reading, often improve faster than your productive skills, like speaking and writing. This creates a gap where you know what people are saying, but struggle to respond the way you'd like. For example, you might hear someone say, "I'm feeling under the weather." You understand it means they're sick, but if someone asks, "How are you feeling?" you might just say, "I'm not good," instead of using a natural phrase like, "I'm a bit under the weather." This gap is normal, but with practice, your speaking skills will catch up. Number 2, getting too comfortable with simple language. When you're at the intermediate level, you probably know enough English to get by with basic words and simple grammar. The problem? Sometimes learners get too comfortable with this and stop trying to use new phrases or more complex sentences. For example, instead of saying, "I'm exhausted because I didn't sleep well last night," you might just say, "I'm tired." Both are correct, but the first one sounds more natural and expressive. If you challenge yourself to try new words and longer sentences, your English will start to sound richer and more advanced. Number 3, using the same words over and over. Does it feel like you're always saying the same thing? That's because intermediate learners often stick to words they know well and forget to explore new vocabulary. For example, you might always say "great" to describe something positive, even though words like amazing, fantastic, or incredible would make your English sound much more interesting. To break this habit, try learning new words in context, not just memorizing them, but practicing them in sentences. Number 4, speaking correctly but sounding unnatural. Even if your grammar is strong, does your English sometimes sound too formal or robotic? This is common because natural speak includes things like contractions, idioms, and casual phrases, things that often aren't taught in textbooks. Practicing casual phrases and real conversations will help your English flow better. Number 5, repeating the same mistakes. Have you noticed that some mistakes seem to follow you no matter how many times you try to fix them? These are called fossilized errors, mistakes that become part of your speech because they were learned incorrectly early on. For example, you might keep saying, he go to work every day, even though you know it should be, he goes to work every day. Why does this happen? The truth is, when you reach the intermediate level, you know enough English to manage most situations. Because of this, you may stop pushing yourself to learn new words or improve your grammar. At this level, you can rely on familiar vocabulary and grammatical structures, so you end up reducing your exposure to new challenges that would drive further improvement. Another reason could just be a matter of perspective. Your progress and the improvements at this stage are more subtle, less perceivable than in the beginner phase. Instead of learning completely new concepts and developing completely different structures, you're refining what you already know, which makes your progress feel less obvious. But that doesn't mean progress isn't happening. But in any case, there's good news. The plateau is not permanent, and with the right strategies, you can overcome it and keep improving your English. So what can you do to move past this stage? Let's explore some effective tips now. Number 1, step out of your comfort zone. Are you always learning English in the same way? If so, it's time to try something new. Feeling stuck often happens when you only use familiar study routines. To improve, try changing your study methods. For example, debate a topic in English, start writing a journal, or try thinking in English during your day. You can also explore new materials like audiobooks, news articles, or TED Talks. Doing activities that challenge your English skills will help you break free from old habits and improve faster. Number 2, learn vocabulary in context. At the intermediate level, it's important to learn new words, but don't just memorize lists. Instead, learn new words by seeing how they are used in real situations. Pay attention to common word combinations, called collocations, and phrases that native speakers often use. Try reading articles, watching TV shows, or listening to podcasts in English, like this one. Notice how new words appear in sentences and try to use them in your own conversations. Keeping a vocabulary journal with example sentences will help you remember these new words and use them naturally. Number 3, don't just learn words. Use them. Just listening and reading is not enough at the intermediate level. It's important to practice speaking and writing too. Look for chances to have conversations with native speakers or language exchange partners. Try writing regularly. You can start a journal, write blog posts, or join discussions in online forums. By actively using the language instead of just learning it, you will remember more and improve faster. Number 4, improve your listening with active practice. By now, you probably understand a lot when listening to English. But to improve even more, challenge yourself. After listening to something, try summarizing what you heard, writing down keywords, or repeating phrases out loud. Start by watching videos with subtitles, then watch them again without subtitles to test your understanding. Another great exercise is called shadowing. This means listening to native speakers and repeating what they say as they speak. This is a powerful way to improve both your listening and pronunciation at the same time. Number 5, set clear goals and track your progress. Having clear goals can help you stay motivated. Instead of saying, I want to get better at English, set goals like, I will have a 5-minute conversation in English every day. Or, I will learn 5 new idioms this week. So tracking your progress will help you notice your improvements, even when they seem small. So use apps, notebooks, or voice recordings to see how much you're learning. Celebrate small victories like ordering food in English or watching a movie without subtitles to stay motivated and excited about your progress. Finally, let's talk about patience. Learning a language takes time, and it's normal to feel stuck sometimes. The most important thing is to keep going, even when your progress feels slow. Remember, small steps can make a big difference in the long run. Many students feel frustrated when they don't see quick results, but improving your English is like building a house. Each new word you learn, every sentence you practice, and every conversation you have adds to your progress. Even if you don't see changes right away, they are happening. So think of it like going to the gym. If you exercise for 1 week, you might not see a big difference. But if you keep training regularly, after a few months, you'll notice how much stronger you've become. Language learning works the same way. Progress takes time, but it's happening as long as you stay consistent. Practicing regularly is important because language skills can fade if you stop using them. That's why it's better to study a little bit every day than to study for many hours just once a week. Even 10 or 15 minutes of focused practice each day, like listening to this podcast episode, can help you remember new words, improve your grammar, and keep your speaking skills strong. Trust me, staying consistent really works. And don't forget to be kind to yourself. Some days will feel easier than others, and that's totally normal. Instead of thinking about what you can't do yet, focus on what you can do. Celebrate small wins like understanding a line from your favorite song or ordering a coffee in English without feeling nervous. So don't give up. Keep practicing, stay curious, and believe in yourself. With patience and regular practice, you will break through the intermediate plateau and reach a higher level of fluency. Agora é hora de testar a sua compreensão do episódio de hoje. Responda as perguntas e veja como é que tá o teu listening. Número 1. O que é o intermediate plateau mencionado no episódio? A. Uma fase em que os alunos aprendem inglês muito rápido? B. Um momento em que os alunos sentem que seu progresso está mais lento? C. Um período em que os alunos esquecem tudo que aprenderam? Ou D. Uma técnica para melhorar a fluência do inglês? E a resposta é a letra B. It's a common stage in language learning where students, after learning quickly as beginners, start to feel that their progress has slowed down. Número 2. Por que algumas pessoas entendem inglês melhor que conseguem falar? A. Porque não se esforçam o suficiente para falar? B. Porque não fazem exercícios de gramática? C. Porque as habilidades de escuta e leitura se desenvolvem mais rápido do que as de fala e escrita? Ou D, porque estudam apenas com textos acadêmicos? E a resposta é a letra C. That's because your receptive skills like listening and reading often improve faster than your productive skills like speaking and writing. E pergunta número 3. Por que praticar todos os dias, mesmo que por pouco tempo, é mais eficaz do que estudar muito apenas uma vez por semana? A. Porque isso ajuda a decorar regras gramaticais rapidamente? B. Porque praticar com frequência evita que você esqueça o que aprendeu? C. Porque estudar pouco exige menos esforço mental? Ou D. Porque estudar muito de uma vez só faz você se sentir cansado? E a resposta é a letra B. Practicing regularly is important because language skills can fade if you stop using them. That's why it's better to study a little bit every day than to study for many hours just once a week. If you got them right, congratulations. If not, don't worry. Listen to this episode again and keep practicing. Agora é hora de anotar as expressões de hoje. A primeira é stuck, que significa travado ou empacado. Por exemplo, maybe you started learning English with a lot of excitement, but now it feels like you're stuck in the same place. Talvez você tenha começado a aprender inglês com muito entusiasmo, mas agora parece que está travado, empacado no mesmo lugar. Expressão número 2, to get by, que significa se virar ou conseguir se virar em alguma coisa, conseguir lidar com uma situação, mesmo com recursos ou habilidades limitadas. Por exemplo, when you're at the intermediate level, you probably know enough English to get by with basic words and simple grammar. Quando você está no nível intermediário, provavelmente você sabe o inglês suficiente para se virar to get by com palavras básicas e gramática simples. Então você pode usar esse get by quando você consegue se virar em fazer algo mesmo que não seja perfeito. I don't speak French very well, but I can get by. Eu não falo francês muito bem, mas eu consigo me virar. I get by. Number 3, under the weather. Esse é um idiom que significa não se sentir bem ou estar meio indisposto. You might hear someone say, I'm feeling under the weather. Você pode ouvir alguém dizer, eu estou me sentindo meio indisposto. You understand it means they're sick, but if someone asks, how are you feeling? You might just say, I'm not good, instead of using a natural phrase like, I'm a bit under the weather. Então você entende que isso significa que a pessoa está doente, mas se alguém perguntar como você está se sentindo, você vai dizer simplesmente, não tô bem, em vez de usar I'm feeling under the weather. E esse foi um gostinho da metodologia English in Brazil. Imersão em inglês adaptada para o seu nível e muita prática guiada. Se você quiser baixar o PDF com o texto desse podcast em inglês e em português, não se esquece, porque tem exercícios também para esse episódio. Só clicar no link aqui na descrição e se inscreva no canal, viu? Thank you for listening. Keep practicing and I'll see you in the next episode. See you!